Hi, Steve here. Welcome to video 2 on daily football stats. And in video 1 we talked about the leagues and that, and today we'll go into now how this software gives you the opportunity to analyse the day's games. Now the day's matches are uploaded at 5 AM UK time, so anytime after that you can get all the matches, and not only the ones that are on Betfair but all the matches being played around the world for that day. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So by clicking on today's matches, it loads up with all the matches that are available. Okay, so basically what we have is 18 columns dedicated to the home team only stats. If you mouse over each column, it'll tell you exactly what the figures below it represent. But apart from that, we have the 18 obviously columns for the away team, and then each column is actually split in two. So if we just have a look at this one at the moment for the Crystal Palace Arsenal game, we can see here that home goals scored when the home team is playing at home. So this just means Crystal Palace is playing at home. Their total goals scored for the season is 12. But if we come up here and we click total will turn black, meaning it's active. We can see now the figure's gone from 12 to 16. We go to the mouse over and we see now that this is reflecting Crystal Palace's goals scored for the season, both at home and away. So it scored 16 goals in all its matches, regardless of where they've been played in the English Premier League. Okay, so basically what we've done is those 18 home columns have been turned into a home and away stats for the home team. Okay, so that's very important. And also the same is duplicated for the away team for Crystal Palace. And each column is sortable. So for example, we want to look at the home teams that have scored 2.5 goals or more. So if we click on the button at the top, we can see here that this game here, the Italian Serie B game, 70% of the games that the home team, Pescara, have played at when they are the home team, just check, when they're the home and away team, so we can see the black buttons tick, that's why it's the home and away. You may find sometimes if you've got a slower internet connection that you have the total clicked, which should be showing as it is here, the home and away, but it's only showing the home score. You can see that it'll only come up with the home score. You may need to just refresh your connection, okay? Just maybe your internet connection, because this is a live feed directly off the database. So if that does happen, just refresh the screen and the buttons will line up with what they should do. So if we click on home, now we'll see that this game, Pescara have 90% of all games that they've played have been above 2.5, so 3 goals or more. So that's just one of the stats. Like if you were thinking of having a bet today, that is something that you could look at. So you can sort by columns. You might want to sort at, if I scroll across, now we come to the away team. So you can see up here now, this is all the away team stats. So Arsenal stats are all here. So we can see here Arsenal have won 44% their games, have had 44% of their games when they have been in the away team has been more than 2.5 goals. If we click the total for the away team, we can see now that 53% of their games have been 3 goals or more. And that's borne out by, if we scroll across here, we can see here combined 2.5. So we could just, and there's, so that's the combined between the home Crystal Palace games and Arsenal games, we can see that those two teams, when they've been playing, not against each other, but been playing, combined 65% of their games are 3 goals or more. If we click on this now, we can see for today that indeed it is the highest ranking ones for combined over 2.5. So matches went above 2.5 when the home played as a total and the away played as a total. 65% of their games are 3 goals or more. And you can see the Italian team down there, Empoli and Perugia, 63.5. So that's a good way of sorting out bets that you want to look at. And if we look at combined totals there, we can see that the Italian teams, if I just scroll across here, these Italian teams at the top have done extremely well when both teams to score. So that's another thing you may look at today. You may look at betting those 4 Italian teams with both teams to score, depending on what the odds are. The results here will come in usually within an hour of the game finishing. They will have the results will be in here, and they will be available for you in the future to do research with, which we'll talk about shortly. So the important thing is to remember that there's 2 lots of stats for every column, depending on whether you have the home or the away or the total ticked. And when that column is active, it will turn black. So we know that if we're looking at any of the away columns and the away is black, then it should only be referring to games, only to the away team stat when the team played away. Okay, so keep that in mind, but it's all explained in the manual. If you want to get the manual, I suggest you download it, so have a good read and you can understand what the software can do. Now, an important factor in the software is, well, there's many important things, but another one is here. If you've got Excel on your PC, your Mac, your iPad or whatever, you can download all these stats into Excel, and you can use Excel if you're conversant with it to do even more sorting, more filtering, more research by downloading all the figures here into Excel. If you don't want to do that, then we provide a button here which gives you a filter so that you can filter the more obvious, is that the word I'm looking for? The more used markets, put it that way, the more used markets in football betting. So we could say, for example, we want to look at where the home scores over 2.5. Games where the home team is involved in with over 2.5 goals, and the away team was looking at 50% of games that include are over 2.5. So we're looking at a high scoring game. So if we put apply on, what that'll tell us now is these games here, these 7 games here now have a very high scoring rate, and we can see here the away team at 3.5. At 2.5, we can see they're all over the 50% that we wanted. And if we scroll across, we can indeed see that the combined 2.5, so that's the home team and the away team combined, have been playing in all of these 7 teams are well over the 50% games that are 3 goals or more. So that's just another filtering tool that you've got there that you can use. Okay, if we bring up the filter again, we'll just scroll across. We can say, well, we want to find games where both teams to score is at 60%. So we click on to apply, and it comes up with these games. Once again, here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in Italy. And if we scroll right across, we can see in those 5 games, combine both teams to score 80%, 79.5 down. So these teams have a high probability that both teams will score. So another thing that you can look at backing both teams to score there. So you can obviously find strategies for laying or for backing. They're all included in here. Okay, now The next part I want to tell you about of this software is that it's not only for the day. It can give you, since the I think it's the 22nd of December, we have been recording the results. So all the stats are in there, and same if we scroll across here now, you can see the results. As I said, they're in there within an hour of the game finishing. All the major leagues, the results will be fed into the database. So with this, researching is made a lot easier. If you want to look at different scenarios and that, then you can store them in Excel and go through and use them as filters so that you can look at different scenarios and see how they play out. Or you may have a theory that you want to check out, well then you can do it there. So I mean, all the clean sheets, etc., all that stuff is available in here. We give you in the manual 3 laying strategies that you can use and easy quickly filter each day to find what teams are qualifying for those, and that will let you hit the ground running with some scenarios that we've already found, but we will be adding new ones as we go along. So that is daily football stats. A little bit later we'll do one on how to use it in Excel. But keep in mind it's a web-based software, so you can access it on your PC, on your Mac, on your tablet, on your phone. As long as you've got an internet connection, then this software will be available to you. And 5 AM UK time, the day's matches are loaded up. So on behalf of Michael and myself, Steve, thanks for watching Daily Football Stats Tutorial 2. And we hope that you see benefit, that you can turn stats into making a profit for you when it comes to betting football, not only in Europe but around the world. Okay, thanks again. Cheers.